back. Sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but I am driving. So, long awaited trip down to Italy. I have sort of filmed a couple of times, but it's just not really worked out. So, sorry about the camera angle. I've not got it set up on the stand at the moment. So, just left the yard. It's literally a couple of minutes past 4 in the morning. Making my way down to Dover. I'm sure you don't really want to see, well, it's dark anyway, but you don't really want to see the M25, M3, A20 and all that lot. If Instack's in operation, or sorry, Brock,
take the second
as they call it now,
to A31.
Operation Brock, as they call it, is an operation. I might film that, but if not, I'll pick you up again in Dover. Catch you in a bit. I'm on the boat. So yeah, left Dover about 20 minutes ago, half hour ago. Just see the White Cliffs down there behind me. Lovely day out. Spin you around in a minute and sort of see the shipping lanes, and you can see France straight away on days like this. But yeah, so I'm in prime position, down on the bottom deck, right in front of the doors. So yeah, all good to go when I get to the other end, providing I've electronically cleared. Got this electronic clearance now, so you ain't got to worry about going to Calais truck stop, handing it into the agent if everything goes right. But yeah, so it's all done electronically, and there's a big screen down in the restaurant area. Has all your registration number, and if you're green you're cleared to go, just go straight away. If you're orange, then you have to call in at customs in Calais port. So all good. Don't know what you can see. It's not going to show up, but you can make out the cliffs of France there. But yeah, lots of boats. Sorry, ships. Lots of ships. Anyway, so I'll catch you at the other end, and I'll be in France. See you in a minute. I'm just about to get off the boat. Open up the big doors of doom. Fire the old engine up a minute. The actual ramp down on the boat, and then you see the link span ramp just in front of us. And as you can probably tell, we're on the bottom deck, so all the cars and everything are starting to be offloaded already, probably. Set up the old sat nav. Places, JCB for Chile. Drive. Ramps are playing up. Barriers, I should say. Unless somebody's just having a laugh with the van driver there. Or whether that is a genuine fault. Yeah, somebody was having a laugh. out as well. Top deck always seems to unload first, so got to look after the tourists. Get the old wagon go up there. Checks are done in Dover, and vice versa. When you're coming back, all the checks are done in Calais before you get to Dover.
Keep left to Rocade Est.
And then we will converge together again.
In 4 miles, keep left toward Saint-Omer.
Change the route on the sat nav. She doesn't always know better at best. T is learning. Lovely blue sky. A few clouds here and there, but not many, like little fluffy cotton type ones. Temperatures, well, I believe it's warmer than what it says at the moment, but it's not having a chance to warm up. Yeah, right, Stephen Queen. Yeah, the temperature at the moment it says is 22. I personally believe it's warmer than that. It was at sea anyway. So basically that is us out of the port now, so just at the end of this barbed wire fencing. But up in a vain effort to try and keep out immigrants, people trying to stow away on lorries and things. Got the railway head on the right hand side there. not the Channel Tunnel. As you might remember from past trips I've done, that is quite a massive affair. It's just sort of like a freight station sort of thing, mainly for grain. We're going to come along here and we're going to pick up the road for Saint-Omer, Paris, which is basically straight on. Keep on going all the way down there until I've done 4.5 hours driving, and then I shall park up, and that'll be me for the day. At the moment I've got 664 miles to go to Vicelli, so you can work out sort of like approximate driving time when you think that my maximum speed is 56 miles an hour. Yes, the lorry is governed, limited to 56 miles an hour. Could go a bit faster downhill if you let it, but it goes a damn sight slower uphill when you're loaded. JCB machine I've got on at the moment is one of their big roto machines, like a telehandler set for on it, sort of like a crane base where it does great swivel, and that's running, this model is running at 19.5 tonne plus the attachment. Down there for the kiddies, very nice. Probably didn't see that. But yes. So
in
this is
3/4 of a mile,
Wednesday,
keep left toward Saint-Omer.
22nd of August. When I get down to sort of like going up the Mont Blanc, I have got footage I took in the winter with all the snow, and I'll probably sort of like superimpose that up in the corner of the screen. But I'm going to probably have to break this down into 2 or 3 videos. I tried to sort of like compress it into one video. I recorded it before and it was just rubbish. I need to come out. British fucking driver in a BMW, yeah. You can put your full weight on there.
Be in the left lane.
Not letting me out. No, I've got to get past the lorry. Oh. But yeah, so it's Wednesday, 22nd of August. Going down, unfortunately.
In a 1/4 of a mile, keep right to A26.
Manitou does not reopen from their summer holiday break until Monday, so that is me stuck down in Italy. Yes, I know some people say, well, yeah, lucky bugger.
Be in the second lane from the right.
It's a bit different being on the holiday, being able to go to the beach and the restaurant or see the sights and stuff like that. So it is being parked up in some flaming truck stop on an industrial estate somewhere in Italy.
Continue on A26.
Admittedly, probably if I'm going to the one I think I'm going to go to, it has got a swimming pool. But the hotel next door's got a swimming pool, which you are allowed to use. That's small fee. And it is going to be rather warm. I think it's 40, 45, 46, something like that down there at the moment. Coming down the outside lane here. fields, all the hay baled, rolled up. It's not very populated along this route really, not until you start getting down towards Reims and places like that. So I'll pick you up for a little chat in a little while, have a little knit and natter about coin things, and you can have a little look at the scenery on the outside. So yeah, I'll pick you up in a bit. See you later. Ta-da. Back. Day 2. So I got down to services at Dijon. Yeah, Dijon was in the mustard. Dijon last night. Parked up there. That's only shower and that. I tried to go to sleep, but it was proper warm last night. Proper warm. So warm that I had to get up at 1:30 again, go for another shower, just lying on my bed absolutely sweating. So had a bit of lying this morning. No, not exactly got a rush on this week, because as I said to you yesterday about taking this down, but Manitou, our reload, they don't start work until Monday. They've had their 3-week holiday, so yeah. So just on the A39 now, which runs sort of like from Dijon down. Can't really sort of see a lot at the moment, sort of like motorway surrounded by trees everywhere, but we shall have a little knit and natter a little later on once we get out and about into the more scenic side of things for you, because just watching motorway after motorway is a little bit boring. But anyway, talking about fish, I'm not sure which way around it's going to come out. I've got a video putting together about the pond this week, over the last few days. Everything was going great guns, drum was working smooth, water had gone absolutely crystal clear, the UV was on, everything was perfect, fish were happy, feeding like that stink, not a problem whatsoever, everything hunky-dory. And then in the space of 36 hours it absolutely goes to rat poo. Noticed a couple of white marks on Patch's head. It was like, banged his head or something like that. So took him out, had a look, rubbed my finger over and come out, put a bit of Tamadine on. I thought, yeah, he banged his head or something like that. Put him back in. Come out the following morning and he's got little white bumps, not waxy like carp pops, sort of like the same white as you get in white spot, but these are too big. These are sort of like proper, sort of like pimple size things. And the cow, she was covered into them, and she had this sort of like, I don't know, sort of like mucusy thing coming off of the skin. So and the little isoshella I ain't named yet, that was had a few little white lumps on them. So I got them out, scraped them. I think I found, out of the 3 fish, I found 3 flukes, sorry. Not an infestation. I took a lot of, scraped a lot of the body and that, everything like that. So couldn't see nothing else. Couldn't see white spot, trichodina, costia, nothing. Water parameters, tested them. Ammonia, a little bit high. Not dangerously so, but I'm chucking the feed in like nobody's business. So yeah, racking my brains. I couldn't really think.
what it was, possibly a bacterial issue. So came out in the morning and things have just gone even worse. It was, yeah, the cow was absolutely hanging. So I got her out again, I had a look at the gills, and you'll see in the video and that lot that the gills are all necrosed. The chag had developed some white spots on him. So I really didn't. So I reached out on the internet and everything like that, on the Rastapoi forum. Different ideas came back, but none of them, although they were great help, none of them sort of seemed to gel with me. Yeah, the necrease gills, yeah, it could have been PP burn, but not that bad. Had a look at chag gills, a little bit of necrosis going on, not a lot, it's still red and healthy, it's just a couple of blotches on the tips. So changed shed load of water, purged all the bottom drains and everything like that. Put some salt in, and I just had it in my mind that I needed to FMG. Sorry about that. It's only come up as iPhone storage is full, so I had to delete a few bits and pieces. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, yeah, the following morning it was like absolutely gone to rubbish. So I've salted, I took the salt up to 2%, left it for a few hours because everything in my mind was shouting because of the lumps were looking a bit, and the tail on the isoshower was going a bit raggedy, looked a bit like fin rot. Still couldn't find anything. So again, just everything was screaming at me that I needed to FMG, just get on control of these white lump bits. Yes, the gills were concerning, and I did lose the cow. Yeah, the cow passed shortly after I checked the gills, which was gutting, but you know, I spoke to a few people and they said, yeah, FMG, but just make sure there's plenty of oxygen going in. So that was the only reason I did. So that's why I took the salt only to 2%. You say FMG and salt don't mix. Other people say yeah, it's fine. But I think if it's 3% and under, you shouldn't have a problem with salt and FMG. So I put a dose of FMG in, extra oxygen in there, left them, kept an eye on them. They weren't happy, far from happy. The food has stopped, not putting any food in. Left them in there with the FMG for came out again, had a look at them the following morning, and the white spots on Chad and Patch seem to be breaking up. Not gone yet, but they seem to be cracking up, and so I've left the FMG in there, went to work, came home again Tuesday. I had the day off Tuesday because I'm out all this weekend, and done sort of about a 40% water change, as you do. I had a bottle of declared used a declaw. And had a look at the fish once the water had gone in. Decided to try a little bit of food with them. Most of them were a bit lethargic going towards the food. A few of them were smashing it like they normally do, slotting around. But I suppose when you've had a treatment in the pond, you're going to be peed off anyway, like, and because the cow had passed. I don't know. It's funny. It's in some ways, because you go up to the pond, and I don't know whether it's a case of they're just peed off because something's not right, or because they've had the treatment in there, or they're looking at me and they're peed off with me for chucking all this stuff in at them and everything like that. You know, I'm probably going to get slated for doing, you know, well, you can't find anything, so why are you chucking these treatments in? But they've been doing this a fair while now, fish keeping, and you do get a gut sense. You sort of learn, and sometimes you've got to trust your gut, I think. Whether I've done it right or wrong, it remains to be seen. But I had a phone call from Dean Marco. He reached out to me. We had a good long chat, and his advice was to get rid of the FMG and the salt and do a 3-day course of chloramine T, which was playing on my mind about being an option, but I thought I'd go with the less harsh treatment of FMG first, see if that does anything. Now, if things ain't all right when I get back, like I said, I've got the wife at home, bless her. She's, you know, looking at fish and sort of telling you what's going on. I've got the cameras, so I can just sort of see them, but you can't zoom in that close on the cameras and sort of check their bodies. So that's down to the missus. She's watching them, putting a little bit of food in for me. I suppose it's just a waiting game, just to see now whether I've gone the right way, or whether when I get back I'm going to have to go to chloramine T, dose them 3 days on a trot. Because it's harsh stuff. A lot of people don't realise how harsh chloramine T is. It is very, very harsh. It strips the mucus off the fish like nobody's business. It kills your filters. It will kill your filter. It is a very, very strong. A lot of people think that PP is a bad one, or formaldehyde or anything like that, but trust me, chloramine T is a nasty treatment. I mean, it works wonders. It works wonders, but I suppose it's like any treatment when it comes to koi or any kind of hobby where you've got to give medication out. It works, and it works well, providing you do things right. You do things wrong, or chuck a bit extra in and that, and I think, oh no, I'm not sure about that. That's when things go wrong. But yeah, so that's where we are at the moment with that. I've not had any more losses. A few of them are moping around the pond, but they're moving around, and they are all taking food, if not a little bit begrudgingly. It's like they don't trust what I'm putting in there. They're like looking at me and going, oh, well yeah, you took the cow out and then the cow died. Oh, I don't know, don't trust you. So yeah, we will see, fingers crossed on that one. Anyway, right, had a little bit of a look round here. Scenery's much a shame. Start coming down towards the mountains in a bit, so I'll pick you up again when we get down there, and I'll see you later on. So now on the A40, skirting around sort of like underneath Geneva. Sort of like this takes you all the way up to Mont Blanc, skirting around underneath the border of Switzerland. It's pretty stunning scenery down there, all the way up to the Mont Blanc. Just about go over a large viaduct, and nice river and a little town just down below. Not that you're going to see it on the camera, but I'm not going to pick the camera up just yet for you to see. You might see a bit, I don't know what you can see, but I got it angled. But temperature's creeping up. I mean, it's 11 minutes past 8 in the morning, 25 degrees already. In Italy, where we're heading, we're expecting it to be about 47 degrees today, I think they'd say it's going to be. So, yeah, a little bit toasty, to say the least. There's a big notice board there in English saying, heat wave, stay hydrated. Yeah, don't have to tell me twice. I'm not a big lover of the sun, to be honest. I'm happier in snow and ice and stuff like that. I hated the last few years in the military, Iraq, Afghan, all that sort of stuff. A bit too hot for me. I was far happier back in the old days of sort of like Germany and places like that, where it was nice and cold and snowy in winter. And Norway, used to love doing the Norway training there, but yeah, not a big fan of the sun. I don't have the right skin type or hair colour for that sort of thing. But it is what it is, and the way the planet's going, it's only going to get hotter every year. Got a big steep incline there. Don't look it, but it's especially when you're carrying some sort of weight, it's quite hefty. But I'm gaining on this bloke, albeit slowly. Whether I've got enough to get round him or not. Not that there's a break in the traffic or anything. Being overtaken by a Grockel van. Should stay where I was. Again, he's slowing up even more now. Another Volvo. Keep it in, mate. Fucking hell. Take over these auto boxes, slip them in the manual, scrape the bollocks off of them. But that done the job, that got me past. And he's flashed me in very nicely. it then will be the All England in Kent. Although the state of the ponds, the way that the fish is in the moment, I'm going to have a little look on the ring camera in a minute when I pull over. You know, got to get all that sorted first. I've got my 3-stage dechlorinator. I've got to get some new cartridges for that. They're due changing, but for the last 3 months I've been trying to get myself not a big blue, a baby blue, one of the 8 kilo, 7 kilo ones. I've got one that needs filling up, but I want to get another one. There seems to be a shortage of vessels to start with, and also bone char. For some unknown reason, commercial availability of bone char has dropped off to virtually nothing. It's just burnt bones as far as I'm aware. So if we ain't got the facility to do that in this country, I don't know whether it all gets imported, but it does seem to be a massive shortage. I know Viair ain't got any, and they're trying to do a workaround, but they've been out for months. I think Finch, according to Finch's website, he's got some in stock, but he's been on holiday, so I've not been able to ring him. He's back now, so I'm going to give him a ring later. Well, convoy of police and services over the other side there. So yeah, I'll give Finchy a ring later and see if he's got some. I'm not sure, like I said, one of the reasons I've got issues as well, I was playing on the back of my mind, since installing the drum. Before then, when I had the Nexus in there, I had a trickle-in on timer, so it come on for sort of like 2 hours in the morning, trickling in a couple of litres a minute, and then again in the afternoon, well, early evening. So I was changing out a fair amount of water, but since fitting the drum, I put the auto top on, top up in. The drum was firing every 20 minutes when I first fit it on, but obviously as your pond gets cleaner, it's going to start. It's going to be less. It's going to be less firing less, because it's not got a sort of, it doesn't go off on a set time. It just goes off when it gets dirty. So I think, and as well, another possible cause, although you see in my video there's something else as well, I'll talk about that in a minute. It's that there's not enough water being changed. I'm only topping up what's being used, because I'll take for the high pressure pump that goes to the spray nozzles and cleans the screen. That's taken from the clean side, so it's taking water out of the pond, and that's being flushed to waste. So I'm going to have to sort of sit down, and I don't think it's enough, so I'm going to have to jump in the pit when I get back and try and fit my timer back on, which means I've got to get some push fit fittings, but again some more 4-inch push fit to 1/2-inch screw fittings. In fact, I don't think it's bigger than 1/2 inch on there. I'll have to have a little look. I might have to get a converter. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to do auto top up. Cut it down to an hour maybe in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. Oh, it's a nightmare trying. When you change something out as big as a filter, and you're trying to get that balance back, it's a pain in the arse. It really is. An absolute flaming nightmare. Because it does mess up things quite severely. You might think, oh, you're only going to have one filter and put in another filter. No, there's so much more. When I set up the bomb with the Nexus, put down, thought about it, you added this, you added that, and got it running, beautifully. Everything's good, and fish were healthy, growing well, looking good. And you think, alright, I'm going to improve things, make life a bit easier, put a combi unit on, nice drum, clean the water, ain't got to worry about cleaning the filters, sort of like religiously, and with the feed going in, if I still had the Nexus amount of feed I've been putting in, technically it would have needed cleaning 3 times a week, and as you know, the job don't allow it. So yeah, so there's still a lot of playing around to do to get things right, and it's obviously chucking up problems. Also, I say obviously, as you see or have seen in the video. I was putting my phone down on the banister that goes around the pond and everything like that, and I picked it up and it was stuck. I was like, what the hell? And the paint had all melted. And then I looked around and there was little patches where you could see the paint was bubbling. Bird poo. There was no white residue, no bits of black or anything, no lumps. It was just like some liquid had been dropped on there, and the paint was and it was bubbling the paint. So obviously acidic. And if that's the case, could it have got in the pond? But like I said, it's drops of it all around the banister, on the deck, and it's nothing I've used, none of the chemicals. I don't put nothing on there for the sake of it. It's just a banister, and it's windy up where I live. Anything can blow off, or get knocked off or something like that. So I don't put stuff up on there like liquids and stuff like that. Occasionally I might rest my cup on there if I'm having a brew or something. So, yeah, interesting. Has something been sprayed? I know the people that sort of like come out and do the gardening, cut the grass on the estate and everything like that. They also come round with weed sprayers to spraying all up against the walls, around the lampposts and things like that, killing off the weeds. Have they been round and he's lifted his lance in the air and it's sprayed over or something? I don't know. Another funny thing is my back gate was open during the week, just saw this all cropped up, which is normally locked on the inside, bolt slid across and everything. Me and Mrs, we never ever leave that unlocked. We literally go out and check it at night before we lock the house down and go to bed. But because we were off for a week with the kids, and then Jackie was at home for a week, the cameras have been, during the daytime, have been switched off, because otherwise every time you walk out in the garden or open up the front door, it's going off on your phone and everything like that, giving you an alert. So you just put it, you're at home and it doesn't thing. So obviously if she was at home and then she'd gone out somewhere and not reset it, so we don't know if anybody came into the garden or not. But we all have these suspicions, we all look for reasons why when something happens. You follow the protocol, you've done your water test, you've done your scrapes, and you're not finding anything, and then you still got sick fish. So you're like, yeah, wow, what do you do? And so you start, anything out of kilter you start saying about. No, So this isn't the Mount Blanc tunnel, by the way. That's a lot longer than that. This. About to get blinded by the sunlight as we come out the other end. Another viaduct. One thing the French seem to be able to do is build bridges and viaducts, that's for sure. Anyway, switch you off again, and well, I'm heading toward we've got a stop at a place called Bonville, and fill up with fuel, and then we'll start the climb up towards Mont Blanc. So I'll pick you up again after that. Have fun. I will see you in a bit. This is Air de Bonville, just filled up. Fuel pump's just there. But yeah, it's not a bad place. Stayed here a few times overnight. Not a bad place to wake up to. There's the JCB. Finish my break off and then we'll crack on up the road. Right, just coming up to the control point. This isn't actually the start of the tunnel. It's a few k's away. It's got a bit of a hold up ahead as well, according to sat nav. But yeah, this is just where they check your height and everything like that. Make sure you're not hazardous. So basically you pick up a ticket to say you're cleared. Merci. There's your ticket. Now we start the climb up to the tunnel. Somebody's going to let me out, that is. Yeah.
Continue on M205.
Sat-nav's picking up a bit of delay. It's warm. 35 degrees. Yeah, picked up about an 18-minute delay for at the entrance of the tunnel. That's just volume of traffic this time of year. You don't get this problem so much in the winter, but this time of year, obviously tourist season, everybody going over. They've only got 4 booths, I think, and when it's busy, they only have 1 booth for HGV and the rest of it's cars, so you do get a bit of a tailback going up. Unfortunately, that's going to set me back. Still get down to Vercelli in time, but it just depends whether I'm getting paperwork cleared quickly and get tipped. We'll have to wait and see. Plenty of scenery to look at. I'll turn you over that way. I can see what you're looking at then. All the chalets and everything here, sort of like, well, on both sides, up in the Alps here, will take on the image you have Swiss style chalets. If I was going to live anywhere else in the world, quite honestly, I do think it'd be round here, because it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. Yeah, you get the snow in the winter, you get the cold weather, but you also get the heat in the summer. I've got 35 degrees at the moment. That's on the French side. Once you come out the tunnel on the Italian side, it's even hotter. Aircon's struggling to keep up at 35. God knows what it's going to be like at 48. But yeah, pretty much like this all the way up. Seen a lot of talk and a lot of discussions about ozone just lately cropping up. I remember ozone when it first came out, well, a few years ago, a good few years ago. Sorry, sat-nav's playing up. Yeah, but I mean, the ozone machines back then were, I mean, a lot of money. I think the cheapest one you could get was something like about £1,000.
Continue
Traffic
on
on
N205/E25.
Traffic jam between N205/E25 Chalet d'Acero and N205/E25 Route Nationale 205. 17 minutes delay.
There you go, see, 17 minutes delay. But yeah, this is one of the few tunnels going up. On the Italian side, once we get through the block, I won't have the camera on for a while, because going down, it's sort of like you come out of the block, you're into another long tunnel, come out of that, you're into another long tunnel.
Continue on Tunnel du Châtelet.
And you don't really want to see that. I'll film going through the Blanc, so you can just sort of see that.
Lost satellite reception.
That's closing down for a lot of maintenance on September the 4th until December the 16th, 14th to 16th, it's closing down. So everything now that's coming down, if it's going to go through Fraser's tunnel, or you have to take the coast road in. So yeah, that's going to make life a bit more interesting. Fraser's will be hellish busy. Anyway, back to ozone. Yeah, so like I said, I can remember the units when they first come out, and they didn't really take off. Problem being is that you had to monitor quite closely, because they produce quite large amounts of ozone, and too much ozone is bad for your bomb, definitely bad for your fish. So you have to monitor them with these different monitors. So you'd have to buy the ozone machine, and then ozone generator, and then you have to buy the monitor as well to keep an eye on things. And they just didn't really take off. Now they're coming out with these little smaller units, cheaper units, and the manufacturer whether they produce enough ozone to do the things that it claims it's going to do, like help with parasites, eradicate bacteria in the pond, eradicate algae in the pond. And at about £125 for a unit, it's hellish cheap. So I will be watching with great interest, let's say, to see just what is going to happen with them and whether they do work or whether they cause people problems or not. I like the idea of it, don't get me wrong, I do like the idea of ozone. It's just like I said, when it originally came out, it just wasn't, you had to be fully dedicated, you had to have a lot of money, and some of the units and that lot, you'd have to replace the control unit, so like near enough every month on it, and the control units weren't cheap either. Right, just have taken the tractor, even though I'm struggling up the hill.
In 4 1/4 miles, take exit 31 on the right to E25.
Sat-nav keeps getting lost for some reason. But yeah, so yeah, I will keep an eye out. There's quite a few people buying them, so I know it sounds cheeky, but I'm just going to sit on my hands and sit and watch for a few months and sort of see what's happening with them. But there seems to be a lot of problems this year, bacterial issues, fluke issues again, not being able to eradicate the fluke, and my opinion, not just my opinion, other people as well, but in my opinion, I think that's down to manufacturers of sort of like, I don't know, say a fluke treatment. I won't name any names, but I say that all of them are guilty of it, is to cover their backsides. The recommended doses and the strengths of these treatments are a lot lower than what they really should be for actually trying to eradicate the parasite. And I think that goes across the board in all parasite treatments. Yeah, I think the recommended doses are a lot smaller than what they should be. Sorry, shouldn't swear. Slap wrist. Nice air conditioned bus there. Look at the air conditioner on top of that. Flaming hell. So a lot of understrength, and personally I sort of tend to put a little bit extra in, and I tend to do sort of like day one a full dose plus a bit, and then I do sort of like day 3 I'll do a half dose, and then day 5 I do a full dose plus some. And hopefully, so far I've been sort of like successful of when I've had problems of sort of like, you know, knocking the numbers down. I don't care what people say, you will never, ever be totally parasite free. No pond will ever be totally parasite free. You can go to any pond you care to name, and if you scraped every one of those fish, I can guarantee you'd find a parasite of some sort on the fish in amongst them. It's nature, it's an ecosystem. You know, if your pond's set up right and it's running right, it's an ecosystem. So, you know, yeah, it's going to have these nasties in there as well as the nice stuff. It's just the way it is. It's just when those nasties become a problem, when something happens for them to be able to breed and multiply numbers that start causing the fish problems. But yes.
In 3/4 of a mile, take exit 31 on the right to E25.
Poor old fans can't keep up. Technically you're driving around in a great big greenhouse with a heater underneath it. Try something tonight though when I park up. I will open up my front grille. See a lot of the guys do it when you're over here.
Take exit 31 on the right to E25, then enter the tunnel.
Shit, I should have done that. Or should I have done that? Oh, I don't know. HGVs have to go this way, but it's normally they do. It's only a roundabout and you come down and up the other side. Again, I lost the train of thought then. Yeah, so like I said, that's what I do, and like I said, you know, you won't find a pond without parasites. Well, according to this, we're supposed to be, well, one sat nav it says it's a back in the traffic, the other one says it's a bit further up, round a couple of bends. But yeah, this is the approach to the tunnel. Temperatures drop down to 30 degrees as we're coming up. Lorries have to stay in the right-hand lane. Cars can keep on going. Walks around here. Never had the pleasure of doing it myself. A job, got to get on, get going, can't stop for a bit of pleasure. Oh, they're putting in toilets. It's about time they've done that actually for when it's queuing up. And we're hitting the back of the queue now. Yeah. So not too bad, but bad enough. So this is us at the back of the queue for the tunnel. 10-minute delay. And it's literally half a mile. Literally just look to the right, go up the bank, and then go round the corner again, and that's the tunnel. So I think I'll turn you off here until we get moving, otherwise it's going to get a bit boring for you just seeing me sat here. Yeah, it's moving and it's moving slowly, but it is going to be slowly. It's going to be 20 minutes of sat in traffic, so I'll pick you up when we're going through the tunnel.